Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome back to another episode of Woodmere State Revival. I'm down at the house today doing some work inside the garage. Our contractors are hoping to start next week or the week after. They're going to be coming in, taking the roof off the garage, building an addition over top of the garage. Then they're going to start doing all the electric, the plumbing, and the HVAC. And then once they've gotten all that done, we'll come behind them, put the insulation in, and then they'll finish up by putting up all the drywall for us, and then we'll take over the project from there. Today I got to get some things taken care of in the garage. There is a concrete step up, which I'll show you here in just a second. That was kind of the end of the garage, I guess, to keep people from driving through the house. It's about a foot tall step, and it goes all the way across the end of the garage. That's got to get torn out because that's where the new butler's pantry is going. That's where the new utility room is going. So all the HVAC, the plumbing, the electric, everything will have to be run under the floor into the utility room and then go out from there. So we've got to get all that concrete and dirt and everything that's underneath it tore out. It's poorly supported anyways. We think there was just, very little compaction done underneath it. So it is actually settled about an inch on the side towards the house. So this thing is not really stable anyways. And then there's some pretty good cracks in the garage floor. So we're going to go ahead and tear out the garage floor slab. And then when we finish this whole project, we'll go ahead and pour another one. We wanted to make sure we had, everything taken care of. We don't want to come back 5 years from now and find the slab even more cracked and have to do it then. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that as well. So we've rented some equipment for the weekend. We got a skid steer, we've got a concrete breaker attachment, and we're gonna be using that to fill up a dumpster full of concrete. Let me show you around a little bit so you can get an idea of what we're gonna get into today. So here's the view into the garage, and as you can see, it's pretty well cleaned out. We've got a few odds and ends left here, but as you've seen in previous videos, this thing was just chock full of furniture and building supplies and tools and everything else. And so we spent the last couple of weekends really getting this cleaned out and ready to go. I've got to get this pile of marble tile out of here. This is all the stuff we salvaged out of the master bathroom. And I was going to go ahead and try to sell that on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, one of those places, see if somebody else would be interested in repurposing that. It's really in good shape, so I hate to just put it all in the dumpster. But then we've got just, again, odds and ends. We've got an old shelf in there. We've got some building materials over here. We've got a workbench over in this corner of the garage. And then you can see this antique furnace. This thing, I think, is probably original to the house by the looks of it. A pretty new water heater. It's electric, so we're not going to use it. But certainly would make somebody a decent water heater. It's a Whirlpool and, again, appears to be pretty new. So we'll be salvaging that and hopefully make a deal with our plumber to take it off our hands. But here's that concrete step I was telling you about. Like I said, it's about a foot up off the garage floor, and that makes for a fine step, getting up out of here. But the again, this end of the garage is going to be repurposed. We're not going to use this for the typical garage stuff. We're going to have our butler's pantry here, and then over here on this end, it'll be the utility room. So electric panels, tankless water heater, the furnace, and everything else will go over in this corner. Looking into the house here you can see the back entryway, and then from here you go into the kitchen and family room area. All nice and dry, neat in here, just waiting to get the contractors in here and get going. So looking back this way, there'll actually be a set of stairs right about here, and it'll be going up into the bonus room that's going to be above the garage. This used to be a bathroom, but we're going to be turning this, like I said, into the stairs and into a hallway, which will run on down that way. And then once you go through the hallway over on this end of the current garage, which is kind of the utility room and workshop, there'll actually be a bathroom. And this window will be in the new bathroom. And then there'll be a toilet and a sink and a cabinet in there just for some storage. Underneath the stairs, which will be right about here, there'll be a nice coat closet and a place for the kids and us to hang all of our stuff up. So there'll be a wall where this concrete step is. And right here in the corner, there'll be a door going into the house. So you'll step up still, but it just won't be on a concrete slab. Looking this way from the back door into the old garage, this will be the butler's pantry. So you'll walk over here and the butler's pantry will go this way and stop right about here. And that'll give plenty of cabinet storage, room for an extra smaller refrigerator, appliance storage, all that stuff that we need that we don't use all the time, and it'd be great to have an extra place to store it rather than in the kitchen. And then again over here, this will be the utility room. So it's going to work out nicely, but we got to get this step out of here. And then over here you can see there's some pretty significant cracking in the floor. And if I was a betting man, I'd say that there was poorly supported substrate under this as well. So the cracks go all the way across the garage over in here. So we don't want to reuse this slab. I mean, you could probably cut those out and fill them and then maybe do some sort of epoxy paint over top, but who knows how long that would last. So we're just not going to deal with it. We're just going to pour a new garage floor, and that way we'll never have to worry about it. So looking out here, you can see the machine we've rented for the weekend. Nice new skid steer. It's only got about 13 hours on it. Thing's a beast. Cold day today. Thankfully we got heat in the cab, but it's got the airless tires, which are great. Don't have to worry about getting a flat. And in the bucket here you can see the hydraulic breaker attachment, and I'll have that hooked up here after a while. Use that to demo the slab, and then we'll scoop it up with the bucket and take it down the road here and dump it into the dumpster. We got this portable storage building here. We're using that to hold all the stuff that was in the garage. Anything that we're keeping, old cabinets and everything else that we're going to repurpose, all that stuff got stuck in there. So I'm going to get started here, get this machine fired up, start getting some of this junk moved out of the way, and then we'll start breaking concrete. Catch you guys up here in just a bit. Well, the elevated concrete platform in the garage is almost gone. We used the breaker to knock all of that stuff apart, and now we've been doing some hand work, loading some of these bigger slabs. Dad brought his bolt cutters over, so we've been cutting the reinforcing wire with that. Good stuff, isn't it, Dad?
Great.
But we're almost done with this part, and then we'll start working our way back out of the garage, breaking all this garage floor as we go. As I showed you guys earlier, we got some pretty significant cracks. Much to our surprise, when we started pulling up those chunks of elevated concrete there, mice started running out. We found all sorts of nuts and mouse nests, everything else under here. So apparently there's been some pretty significant voids under the concrete where the fill has settled over the years, and they've had quite a little paradise under there. Just another reason to get rid of that.
Paradise lost.
Paradise lost. Good one, Dad. All right, let's carry on.
All right, we're getting started. Chris has been working. Charlie came down. Chris has been hard at work. got a really big chunk out. Awesome. That is huge. Awesome. All right, let's go over and see what he's gotten accomplished. Besides tearing out the driveway. Oh, we are a mud pit. Oh, wow, he's gotten a lot done. That's awesome. Just a little bit left. That'll be fun over there, but man, that's incredible. Good job, honey. Good job.
So we made a lot of progress so far. I'm down to the last little corner of the garage here, and the old furnace is here, and the newer hot water heater is here, the old central vac system, the old phone system, and a workbench. And so I got to get this stuff out of the corner before I can get the last of the stuff ripped out. This is really the last of the concrete. It's been pretty good today. You know, we used the concrete breaker to demolish this whole raised area over here, and then to demolish about 3/4 of the slab down in the garage. And sadly, whoever poured this many years ago used very little reinforcing wire, and it was clear down on the ground, sometimes not even embedded in the concrete. And they only poured the concrete 2 inches thick in places. So no wonder it was settling, no wonder it was cracking. So I'm so glad that we took the time and the money to rip this out and redo it. So while I've got the machine, I'm going to dig out the dirt here, drop the grade about 2 or 3 inches more. That way I can get several inches of compacted gravel in here, and then we can do a full 4-inch pour all across the garage here. It's going to make for a much better end result. So looking forward to getting that done. I'm going to work a little bit more this evening. Starting to get dark here, but I got lights on the machine, so I'm going to go ahead and work a little bit more and get the rest of this knocked out tonight if I can. Alright, it's time to say goodbye to the furnace. I'm pretty sure that was the original 1960 whatever furnace. That thing was rusty and nasty, full of mouse everything, so yeah, it's going to be great to get rid of it. Let's get it up in the dumpster. Well, that just about wraps up this episode of Woodmere State Revival. Been down here all day using the Bobcat skid steer with the concrete breaker, taking out the garage floor. And as you've seen, it's been quite the interesting day. Just wrapping up here. It's dark, it's cold. I'm gonna go home and grab something to eat and call it a night. So let me show you what all we got accomplished today. All right, so I'm standing in the kitchen and looking out the kitchen door into the back hallway here. There's the back door. There's the old bathroom, and here is where the garage floor used to be. And as you remember, this was an elevated section that was pretty much flush with this wood right here. And we got all of that tore out. And then we were suspicious of the slab itself in the garage because there were so many cracks in it. And so I went ahead and decided to take that out as well. And I'm glad I did. It was really poorly compacted fill underneath. And then the pour was maybe only 2 inches deep in places. So no wonder it was cracking out. It's nuts. I don't know why they didn't pay more attention when they were getting set up here. Ended up leaving too much of this fill in here, and that prevented them from getting a good thick pour on their concrete. But it made it easy to get ripped out, and so we got it taken out all the way back here to the door. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little gravel in here tomorrow to make sure that we can get the garage door down and closed, keep animals and stuff from coming in. And this is the part of the floor that we have left. So we've already got this cracked and ready to come out. I just got to bust it up a little bit more, get these pieces out. I just finished taking out the furnace. That thing was a huge rusty pig, and ended up having to take the sledgehammer to it just to try to get all that stuff busted loose. I mean, it was a mess. And then had to drain the water heater, 50 gallons of water still in that thing, so I had to drain it out, and then got it loaded up on the dolly, taken outside. Bunch of miscellaneous piping and everything else all in here. So got all this out. You can see the condition of the ductwork. I mean, just totally rusted out, totally nasty. I mean, just full of just disgusting stuff. I mean, just really, really gross. But we're replacing all the ductwork, thank heavens. And the way we're going to do it, instead of going down through the slab like this, the new furnace room is actually going to be over here. And we'll have the furnace set up so that it can go through the wall here, and it'll go into the dining room, and it'll also run over the floor here, and it'll come over under these floorboards, and then it'll come over and take care of the bath, take care of the hallway, and then it'll come in here and take care of the kitchen and everything else. So it's actually going to work much better the way we're going to have it set up, and it's going to be a lot easier to work on, a lot better access and everything else. So again, huge progress. This is just all loose fill, so I got to come in here tomorrow and use the skid steer and the bucket and everything and just come in and load this stuff up. I'm going to try to take the dirt down as much as I can and then bring gravel in on top of that. And we're just going to leave it gravel until the contractors are done and we're ready to pour the new garage floor. So that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been a fun-filled adventure so far. We'll be back down here tomorrow to take care of the rest of the concrete, get the last of that stuff in the dumpster, and then get all this dirt and everything out of here, and then go ahead and bring the gravel in, get it all good and compacted, give the guys a nice dry place to work. So that's what's on tap for tomorrow. Thanks as always for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single episode of Woodmere State Revival. We appreciate you guys subscribing and keeping tabs on our progress. Please give us a like. You got any comments or questions, leave those below. And as always, please share the channel with your friends and family. We really enjoy sharing this project, so please pass it along so other folks can see what we got going on here. Take care. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks.